So let's get into it and show the audience what we're talking about, what she's looked like and sounded like on the stand. She outlined, we talked about on a Monday, what happened in the UK court. She outlined some 15 incidents of abuse. The court found at least 13 of them, I think it was, were credible, and that they were backed up by eyewitnesses, friends, contemporaneous text messages, and so on. I will say one thing in the bad column for her this week has been testimony by, I think it was his driver. It's either his driver or security guard in pretty much every instance, who said they saw her punch him in the face. They saw her punch Johnny Depp in the face.
And then that tape that says, I didn't punch you in the face, I hit you, and kind of trying to put a fine distinction on it. The fact remains, though, anybody who has ever seen or tried a domestic violence case, what we call a DV case, knows that there's always issues. There's always issues surrounding the accusation. There's always going to be people who don't present perfectly well. And there are experts who will testify to that. I can't tell you the number of times that I've sat in a courtroom with an expert who has said, you can't believe this, you can't discount because of this, there's a psychological reason for this, and just explain away any of this. And I don't understand why somebody didn't explain to him, this is what's going to happen. This is a coming attraction.
And by the way, even if she's not telling the truth, all right, and I believed her testimony, I have to say, but even if she's not telling the truth, his disadvantage is he's up against a Hollywood actress who's good enough to make it on the huge screen and all these multi-million-dollar, like she's not some community theater star. Like she knows how to spin a tale, and you can tell that on the stand. I will say, having interviewed so many DV victims myself, what she says, and this could have been coached, it could have been, but what she says about, I fell madly in love with him. He swept me off my feet. This is Johnny Depp. There's a 30-year age difference almost. He made me feel beautiful. He made me feel special. He showered me and my family members with gifts. And then I started to see this other side, this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde piece of him. And she talked about the first time he allegedly hit her and how she couldn't believe it, and how she went through the bargaining that every abuse victim goes through of like, I can, it was a one-time thing. I can change him. He didn't mean it. It's like, it always starts the same way. Here's her describing the first alleged attack. And this is the one that our audience may have heard reference to, where he had a tattoo on him that used to say Winona Forever when he was with Winona Ryder, and then upon breaking up, he changed it to Wino Forever. And here's Amber Heard talking about that. Soundbite 5.
He's drinking and we're talking, and there's music playing, and he's smoking cigarettes, and we're sitting next to each other on the couch. And I ask him about the tattoo he has on his arm, and to me, it just looked like black marks. I didn't know what it said. It just looked like muddled, faded tattoo that was hard to read. And I said, what does it say? And he said it says Wino. It says Wino. And I didn't see that. I thought he was joking because it didn't look like it said that at all. And I laughed. It was that simple. I just laughed because I thought he was joking. And slapped me across the face. And he slaps me one more time. Hard. I lose my balance. I wish so much he had said he was joking. Because it didn't hurt. It didn't physically hurt me. And before I know it, he starts crying. And he's crying. Tears, just falling out of his eyes. He gets down on his knees and he grabs my hands and he's touching my hands and he's saying to me, I will never do that again. I'm so sorry, baby. I put the fucker away. I thought I killed it and it's done. I thought I put the monster away.
Do you know why that's so compelling? Because that jury has also heard from one of his witnesses about the fact that he had put away some of these things, or had dealt with it for decades. And that fits right into that testimony. Also, another thing that you can take a look at, it looks phony, if you will, because of the camera angle. But if you see what she's doing, somebody has either coached her or she understands intuitively. She's talking to the jury.
Yep.
She knows what the audience is. You can see when she turns, and I know I've seen a lot of people say, oh, that's so fake, they're this or that. No, every witness I've ever talked to, I tell them, you've only got one audience. It isn't me who's asking questions. It's not the person who's cross-examining you. It's that jury. Talk to that jury. And she's doing it masterfully.
Mm-hmm. She is. And he didn't. He looked mostly straight ahead at his lawyer.
Exactly. And a little bit mugging for the cameras. And, I understand that part of this is a public relations ploy, but at the same time, how's that public relations going to do if you don't win and if she wins? So,
well, that's the thing. So it's like, I know people who love Johnny Depp and who are just in love with celebrity. And we talked about this, so a much bigger star than she is, are just like, Johnny, Johnny, Johnny. But when I listen to the testimonial offered during his case in chief about how, remember, there was the scene where they were in a hotel room and the maid came in and they were like housekeeping or something like that. And they were like, not right now. And he's like, there's sperm on the pillow. There's sperm on the pillow. Like, I think this is an asshole. Like, this guy is disgusting. He's gross. Who would speak like that to the housekeeping staff? Like, there's been a lot of moments like that, apart from the abuse allegations, that reveal his character in a very unflattering way. And of course, same on her side. Let's not go back into Poopgate, though there's sort of a Poopgate developing against him as well, which we will get to. Right. So here's part 2. This is the, I don't know, I can't do them all sequentially, but this is the next big attack she spoke of, where she's claiming now she was sexually assaulted in Australia by him with a vodka bottle. And this is the same trip on which he lost part of his finger. He claims she attacked him with a broken vodka bottle. She's got a much different story about what happened with broken vodka bottles on the trip to Australia. Here it is in part. It's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, so stand by and listen.
I'm looking at it in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. My head was bashing against the back of the bar and I couldn't breathe. And I remember trying to get up and I was slipping on the glass. My feet were slipping. My arms were slipping on the countertops. And I remember just trying to get up so I could breathe, so I could tell him that he was really hurting me. I didn't think he knew what he was doing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. The next thing I remember, I was bent over backwards on the bar, meaning my chest was up. I was staring at the blue lights and my chest was on this, my back was on the countertops. And I thought he was punching me. I thought he was I'm sorry. I felt this pressure. He on my pubic bone. He thought he was punching me. And I remember that it's just not wanting to move. Because I didn't know if it was broken. I didn't know if the bottle that he had inside me was broken. I couldn't feel it. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel anything. I didn't want it. I looked around and I saw so much broken glass that I didn't know if he would know. I didn't know if he would know if it was broken or not. And I just remember thinking, please, God, please, I hope it's not broken. And I just remember it being in the bathroom. I remember retching. I remember the sound my voice was making. I remember I lost control of my bladder. I remember just retching. I remember there was some blood on the floor.
Forgive me to the audience members, because I know that can be traumatizing, especially for people who have been through it. I should have given you a warning. But, Mark,
for people who are going to say she's a world-class actress, she knows what she's doing, this or that, it's really hard in a case where it's, clear and convincing or preponderance, where you're basically just 51%. This is civil, not criminal. It's really hard to just discount that. And it's really hard to say, oh, I think she's faked all of that. I mean, there is something that resonates there, that is compelling. And for people who think otherwise, or want to diminish it, shame on you.
I feel like if she's making all of this up, because let's keep in mind, to be, quote, a victim of abuse, she'd only have to come up with one or two, right? I mean, if she's a liar who needs to not pay $50 million in a defamation judgment, all you needed to come up with is like one or two. And she's been telling this story for a long time, right? Because they already went through this in England. And she listed, as I said, 13 alleged incidents with text messages and friends and so on. And we'll get to all of that in this trial, and we'll analyze it fairly to see whether they're persuasive or they just got a friend's back. But she really went into detail, and she's got a lot of incidents. And it seems to me, she didn't have to go that far. She didn't have to, if she's a lunatic making up 13 instances that are this detailed and this traumatic, how could she have been functioning at so high a level? And why aren't we seeing witness after witness in his case in chief, other than the one lady who was paid for the 12 hours with her, come in and say, she's a lunatic. This woman's insane.
I will tell you, one of the things that I think those jurors are probably thinking is, and I assume they're going to do this in the closing summation, is they're going to talk about his witness, his expert, and they're going to say, yeah, that expert was right to a point, but look how his expert supported many of the things she said. Now, mind you, I'm the first one to say, let's wait for cross-examination.
Yes, but that's important.
Wait for cross-examination, because it could be devastating and she could come off. I've seen people who, and I'm sitting in Santa Clara, I've actually done a trial here where somebody came off spectacularly on direct and then unfolded on cross. But remember, going by time back to our previous point, they saw that, they being the jury, and then that's the last thing they heard and they digested for 8 days.
Are the high fuel costs putting a damper on your summer vacay plans? From higher prices at the pump to a jump in airfare, it's getting more expensive to get away for a week. But what if you could soak up those vacay vibes year-round in the privacy of your own home? Get a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas. Whether you want to stay close to home this summer or you just want to extend your break, a Michael Phelps swim spa by Master Spas can transform your backyard into an oasis. It's a vacation right there. It combines the benefits of a pool with the therapy of a hot tub. It will reinvent your family time. You're going to love it, and your family and friends will too. Michael Phelps swim spas by Master Spas come in a variety of sizes to complement almost any yard, even if it's a small one. Don't panic. They've got you. And since it's heated, you can use it year-round in any climate. Michael Phelps swim spas are 100% made in the USA by Master Spas, which is the world's largest swim spa manufacturer. Go to masterspas.com, put in the promo code MK to save $1,000 on a Michael Phelps swim spa or $500 on a Master Spas hot tub. That's masterspas.com, promo code MK. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.